All right, we are here. We're here for the Batman movie review. Just got out of the theater. It is Wednesday at almost 11 o'clock. I caught the earliest possible showing that I could go to, which was today, Wednesday. Remember when movies were released on Friday? And like it was crazy to think that you could go see a movie on a Friday at like 12. And then like a couple of years ago, they were like, you can catch a midnight showing on Thursday. And then they kind of moved it to like, you can catch it at 2 o'clock on a Thursday. And I guess in the past year, because of the pandemic and all that stuff, you can go see a movie Wednesday afternoon. And for this particular movie, because it was so hyped up and there was so much promotion and media attention behind it, there were people that have seen the Batman on Tuesday. But I digress. We're here. We watched the Batman. If you don't want to watch me ramble on for the next few minutes, the TLDR of the whole thing, go see it. Just go see it. Get the whole Robert Pattinson Twilight thing out of your fucking head and just go see it. I give it 8.5 out of 10 buckets of popcorn. Go fucking see it. It is a little long. It's just shy under 3 hours, but it is very well worth it. Go watch it. It is amazing. Now on for the review for those that give two shits about what I have to say. And yes, those are comic boxes back there. How appropriate, right? So we are here and it is 2022 and we just got I just got a chance to see a new Batman movie. First Batman movie in probably, I don't know, 11 years or so. It's been a while since we've gotten a Batman movie. I grew up with Tim Burton's Batman. That was mine, 1989. And then Batman Returns, I don't remember when that came out, 1991, 92, something like that. Great. I loved the old gothic style that Tim Burton brought to that Batman. Growing up in the 90s as a teenager, we had, Batman Returns, Batman Forever, the Val Kilmer, the George Clooney. At the time we were like, these are great. They're a little hokey, but we got it. But we got really spoiled when Christopher Nolan came in with Christian Bale and all of the high-tech stuff that particular Batman that Christian Bale portrayed. We got really fucking spoiled. Now, that doesn't go without saying that The Dark Knight Returns was fucking awesome. Heath Ledger as Batman. But, like, this movie spins it in a whole different direction. It's great. It's fucking dark. It briefly takes from two Batman stories. One I know is the Long Hollow's Eve, or the Long Halloween movie. It's the one with the fucking cat on the pumpkin. Okay. It's been a long day for me, so let's just move on. But it is amazing. It does loosely take from two Batman movies, and I don't want to. I'm going to do this with as few spoilers as possible. If you're really interested in the movie and you've made it this far, I can divulge a couple of things. But how I go about this is, when I first saw the teaser of Robert in the Batman, which was like the test footage when he was all in red and in the suit, and then I watched the first full trailer. Now I do that to every movie that I'm really interested in. I know they did that with Ghostbusters Afterlife. I did it with Dune. I did it with a number of other films. I watched the one trailer and I leave it at that. Spider-Man No Way Home. The fucking tons of trailers. There's so many trailers in like 6 weeks. They just dropped one every week, it seemed. But going into this, it's dark. It's definitely not for kids. 13 and under, PG-13. It's not for kids under 13. It was amazing. I loved it. It was great. It's still sinking in. So we have Robert Pattinson as the new Batman. The Batman helmet, the cowl, it's a little weird. I know people were making fun of him on social media. Oh, he's the goth Batman, but go back and look. All the Batman, even my Batman, even my Batman, Michael Keaton, they had a little bit of dark under their eyes. They had a little bit of black paint under their eyes. Now I'm going back to thinking, I'm like, did Keaton wear black under his eyes? Yeah, of course he did. They all did. Zoe Kravitz. I didn't think that she would pull it off as the Catwoman. She's not really ever referred to as the Catwoman or Catwoman, not the Catwoman, like the Batman. I didn't think she was going to pull it off. She kind of looks like it's weird because she kind of looks like Halle Berry in a very petite sort of body structure kind of way. She's no Michelle Pfeiffer. I think I'm gonna have to keep going back to the Tim Burton, but that's a Tim Burton I grew up with. That's a Tim Burton that I love. This is new. This is great. We had, what's his face? John Turturro was in it. A completely unrecognizable, what the fuck is his face? Colin Farrell as the Penguin. Not your Batman animated series Penguin with the top hat. Definitely not Batman 1966 Penguin. But a very unrecognizable Colin. And he did an amazing job. It's just dark. It's dark and gritty. It's always raining. It's always raining. It's always raining in Gotham. Some of the exteriors were shot in Chicago, but it was raining a lot. And also some of the shooting locations were in the UK. But I think the biggest pull away was Paul Dano. Is it Paul Dano? Dano. He played the Riddler. He was the Riddler, and that was really good. He pulled it off very well. He didn't play. He played the original type of Joker, which was I think. I had a really big Diet Pepsi, so I'm kind of like on edge. But Edward Naston, yeah, Edward Naston, not Edward Enigma, Edward Nigma. It's not that. He plays the original in the comics, the original Riddler. It was great. Some of the scenes were definitely violent. Not a lot of blood per se, which I guess is good because you got to keep it under a certain rating to appease to a larger audience. Not gonna. Is there a Joker in it? Not saying anything, but he does get put into Arkham Asylum. You do find a little bit more about Batman's past. Now a lot of people on the socials were saying, "Oh God, another fucking Batman movie. How many times do we have to see Thomas and Martha Wayne get killed?" Well, you know what? In this one, you don't get to see them get killed. You find out that they get killed because this isn't like a constant back and forth of like flashbacks about, oh, you know, Bruce Wayne's doing what he's doing because, you know, he feels guilty about his parents and this and that, and the remorse and the vengeance and the justice and all that stuff. No, this takes place in the second year of Bruce Wayne becoming Batman. There's no Ra's al Ghul backstory. There's nothing like that. So it leads into a much palpable for me Batman story. Because when I think of Batman, I'm either thinking the Batman animated series, I'm thinking rain. There's a lot of rain in the comics, but I'm thinking he's dark. He's in the shadows. He's only doing this at night, and it played out perfectly. I really liked it, and that's when I think of Batman, I think of darkness, shadows, rain, and everyone's angry and screaming, and this put it into a nice little bow. I did see it in a Regal theater, which is the closest theater to me. I didn't have a chance to get into an AMC at the time I wanted, but the reason I bring the choice of theater up is because when I got there, they were like, "Oh, you're in Auditorium 5." Auditorium 5, that's the DX4 thing. Is it called the DX4? No, it's called the 4DX. Excuse me, 4DX. Fuck your 3D. You gotta have 4D. And what is 4D? It's all about the senses. So the chairs rock back and forth. There's mist. There's like lights flashing. So it's basically like it's like one of those rides at an amusement park where the seats are moving around and it's like on gimbals and it's moving. Very distracting. I don't recommend you having a big thing of popcorn like I always do because I'm a fat ass. But actually, speaking of which, for the large popcorn, they gave me a Ghostbusters Afterlife with a little handle, little bucket, which is great because when I went to see Ghostbusters Afterlife, they didn't have this at my theater, only at AMC. But they, so it starts off for like, a good 5 minutes during the almost 3 hour long movie, and this chair stopped working. They were kind of like bucket seats, like a gamer chair kind of bucket seat. This is like a kind of a bucket seat in this car, and they stopped working. And there was a moment about an hour in, and the film just stopped. And like the attendants came up and they were like, "Oh, the seats aren't working, are they?" And we were like, "No, it's okay." Or some people were like, "No, it's fine." Like, "Yeah, it's not working." So for like the next 10 minutes, they were trying to figure it out. So like, it was such a mess. And it was really weird to even right before the movie started, like the management came into the theater and were like doing trivia. And they were giving away posters and comics. I should have bitched and complained at the management after the theater was after the end of the movie and said, "Hey, you guys with the seats, can I get a comic?" But I digress on that. But yeah, 4DX, it was quite an experience. And I could kind of tell that they wanted to segregate the Batman movie because it's called early access. If you see it on a Wednesday, that they wanted to test it out there because there were certain moments in the movie where he's swooping or someone's punching or there's like someone's riding a bike and the seats are shaking, and it was a really weird experience. But anyway, I always do these after I see a movie, and then like 2 days later I'm like, "Oh, you know what? I have to redo that review because now things are coming into my brain." I do see that this is a great platform for them to springboard off into more sequels. They got the cast there. The cast is really young. They're really young. Oh, Andy Serkis was in there. Speaking of people that have been around in age and being young and all that, so Andy Serkis plays Alfred. So like the cast is young. With that being said, Robert Pattinson, he's his 30s or something. He's probably my age, almost 40-ish, 30-ish. He could play Batman for a couple of movies. Zoe Kravitz, she looks young, spry, healthy, sexy. She could play a couple movies. I really think that they can go very, very far with this, and it's really cool. I loved it. It was great. I've been waiting to see this, avoiding the trailers, as I said. But here's the thing. This is my last foray into going off on a tangent. Now, most movies, when they drop the merchandise before the movie even hits theaters, always worries me. It worried me with the Eternals. It worried me with, what the fuck was that other movie? Snake Eyes, which I haven't seen because I knew the fuck was going to happen. But I think the biggest one in the past 20 years had to have been Green Lantern. You go to the store one day, you go to your Target, you go to your Walmart, you go wherever you buy your goods, and you start seeing this stuff, and you're like, that movie doesn't come out for another 6 months. Or like, that movie doesn't come out for quite a while. Why am I seeing all of these action figures out here right now? Like, I'm seeing action figures of characters I didn't even know that were going to be in the movie. Now, this is kind of weird. And I started seeing the Batman 2022 action figures almost 2 months ago, popping up in my Target store. I was like, no, man, please do not let this fall victim to overhype and media saturation. Like, don't let this movie fall into that. They kind of did it with No Way Home just a little bit, but they should have released No Way Home trailer and the movie well over a year ago. I know we're in a pandemic, shut up about that, but I myself right now, I'm pretty hyped. I would go and buy a Batman figure or something right now and not feel bad that I bought into such hype, and it's proved me wrong. It's amazing. Yeah, fuck the Eternals. I saw that like 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, what did I just see? I know I have to see this as the continuation of the MCU and the stories and the post-credit scene. There is a very small post-credit screen in here. Don't get too excited about it. It's only like 5 seconds long, so don't. You can stay for the credits if you want, which I always say when I'm in videos. Oh, stay to the end, watch the credits. You can if you want here. So yeah, that's my full-length 18 minute long rambling on the Batman. I've been waiting to see this for quite a while. Very excited. Before I go, am I a Marvel or a DC fan? I am a Marvel fan, but I do love me some Batman. I do love me some Wonder Woman. So I guess you could say I'm a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B. But I do have very fond memories of Batman, even the 90s, and I recommend you go see it. 8.5 out of 10 fucking stale buckets of popcorn. The popcorn was not fresh today. Like I'm here all the time. But anyway, that's the review on the Batman 2022. Go check it out. Support the theaters. Get out there. Live your life. And as I just said like 30 seconds ago, stay to the credits. Thanks for watching.